to say that the teacher should not be disciplined. The Ministry of Education seems to be supporting the position where teachers should be disciplined if they do not turn up for work or if they do not sign in online, bearing in mind that teachers are not given any support. And some of us really do need the support.
Teachers must know their rights. And I am telling you, as the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, that there is no action that can be taken against a teacher for not turning up at school when the government says school is physically out.
But I've heard administrators say that there's nothing in the code to cover a teacher who has not turned up at school, even though school is physically closed and the teacher was not online because of lack of equipment. I've heard that, Mr. Steve. And
there is more than enough to support a teacher like that.
And certainly the full weight of the JTA, you are saying, Mr. President, will be behind such a teacher.
100%.
All right.
You need to hear 150%. Question, Mr. Earth. May I ask a question, please?
Before you ask that question, let me just move on here. I just want to rush and get this in. Our lesson plans, we know that that's a big part of the requirement for teachers in terms of discharging their duties. Are those still being submitted in accordance with the Code of Regulations at this time?
What I know is that they are being demanded, and the way they want them is, for me, unnecessary in many instances. The detailed lesson plans, when you are having a class, for example, of 40, but only 3 children are turning up. I got that from some teachers. They have 40 on register, but you only have 3 or 4 children turning up on a regular basis. What is it that you want that teacher to plan and to do? I believe that an activity sheet should be sufficient.
Right? Common sense.
Yes.
That, yeah?
Well, some schools do have a lesson plan bank where the teachers pull from. They're like pre-prepared and the teachers pull from that. But just to follow.
Okay. So guys, you see what happened, right? I was doing quite fine. And then the feed fell. And then here it is now. I'm back again. Now you're with me because you subscribed, so you're still watching me live. Here's the problem. Okay? We don't have good telecommunications in Jamaica. That's called a spade. You heard, right? Both the vice principal and principal discussing the very same thing. The challenges that our teachers are facing. So let's start there with the telecommunications. We were told that there are 31,000 students out of the 577,000 students in the education field, right, who do not have access to internet at all. We're told that in the parliament, the minister said that not only do they not have internet access, they have no access to radio or television, etc., because of the poor service in those communities, right? Because they're in remote areas, 31,000 guys. That is half the population of the Cayman Islands, right? That's how many students we're talking about here. But you also heard, right? Separated apart from that number, we have half the student population who are not plugged in to the education system right now. Half of the 577,000 the president of the JTA said. Yeah? Plus you also heard the class, physically, there are 40 students per class. 40 students, guys. I can't imagine a class with 40 students. Huh? Our teachers have to be teaching 40 students. The most I teach adult students, 8 to a class. And even that is challenging at times. Okay, the minister said 25, okay? But can you imagine 40? Okay, and that was a physical class. Okay, so we have 40 students unregistered. But since COVID-19, since March 16, classes have been moved online. But you have heard that consistently, they've had 3 or 4 consistent students out of that 40, 3 or 4 consistent students in a class. Isn't that mind being plugged in at this point in time? Huh? And yet we are saying we're keeping the school system open until July 3rd. That is a farce. Keeping the school system open until July 3rd is a farce because most of the students are at a disadvantage right now. They are not online. You hear some of those who are on WhatsApp, they're not getting lessons as in they're not being taught, right? It's more like an activity based event happening on WhatsApp, right? Whatever they're doing is activity based. It's not as if they're being taught by a teacher. It's not interactive. Okay? That's not what's happening. So therefore, our students since March have been at a grave disadvantage, and it is a fact because I did yesterday a little informal survey yesterday. So I went online to look at all of those videos that were geared towards yesterday was Read Across Jamaica Day. So I went to look at some of these videos. The Prime Minister did one, Dele Harris did one, Empress Golding, other people did one. So these are the more popular persons who would have bigger viewership, right? So I looked at the numbers. The most I saw, guys, from the Prime Minister, 1,600 views is all he had at that time yesterday. When I looked at the numbers after the program would have been finished last night, right? 1,600, and he was the most. Empress Golding had 56 views. Dele Harris had 155 views. And we know these are not all children. But as I said, they were all children. It means out of the 577,000 children that we have in the system, only 1,600 actually saw the Prime Minister read to them. Think about this, guys. Our students are not getting any education right now. They're not. So you have in the system open, and let me put it to you this way, Mr. Minister, with our portfolio in the Minister of Education. You, according to what the JTA president said, right? 3 to 4 students are consistently in class online. And you have now stated that what you're going to do, you're going to be using their previous assessment, their previous grades to assess them for placement for June 26th for September, right? You said it. You said you're going to be using the numeracy and literacy exam from 2018, the performance start for 2019 for grade 5 for math, language, art, social studies, and science, right? And the test that the grade 6 did in February, you're going to be using those to assess them for June, for September. How many students do you think are going to be online now going to class? Seriously speaking, let us be real here. How many students do you think are going to be online? You're lucky if you find one. So this fallacy, we got to cut out these things. We got to be real. We got to cut out these fallacies, man. Okay? There is no way you can have the school term continuing at this point until July. It's now May. You're wasting taxpayers' money. You're wasting time. You're wasting all manner because nobody's learning. God bless the 2 little 3 or 4 students who are actually learning right now. Most people are having challenges. You heard the challenges. The teachers are having challenges. And come on, guys. Use this COVID-19 period. I'm gonna admonish our educators, our administrators, the powers that be, the ministers, the politicians. I'm going to admonish you and give you some advice, and I hope you take it, okay? Right now, like other industries, shut it down. Shut it down. Use the opportunity to do some constructive work. What are some constructive work we're talking about? Okay, first of all, infrastructure. Many of these schools, the infrastructure is poor and you know it, right? Some of them want to be painted. They want new equipment. They need new school desks. And furthermore, those school desks, I heard the minister say that people used to sit down on the desk and 3 per person on the desk, and it's cutting it down to 2. Post COVID-19, 1 person per desk is what you want. 1 child per desk. So you're gonna have to do what you gotta do and set it up. I hear you have how many over $1 billion in budget. Your budget is large. You have a huge budget. If you have a budget like that and people are at home, so what are you spending the money on? I am saying to you that money must be spent, sir, on setting up the school system properly. Okay, get your administrators and the board of directors to sit down and do some assessment. We want assessment. The principals, you heard some of these persons, they have no common sense. Checking their qualifications. You got to also check to see if they really have, in terms of intelligence, right? they can use their own initiative, etc., etc. Because how is it now you're having a teacher complaining that principals are asking for detailed lesson plans for 3 or 4 students online? What a waste of time is that? If they're doing activity-based projects on their WhatsApp, then you want an activity sheet. Is it good enough to a lesson plan? Common sense will tell you that, yeah? So we got to have persons, you got to reevaluate, go through the assessment, because they do assessment regularly. So now is the time to go through the assessment. Look and see how the teachers have been rated and graded. Look and see how the students have been rated and graded. Everybody's getting rated and graded. You understand? That's the time for that now. So that come September, if you choose to open September based on what's happening with COVID-19, then you have certain things put in place. But scrap the school system right now, for the education system right now for the rest of the term. Scrap the school term. School term should be over and done because nobody is learning. God bless the few who are learning. Majority are at a disadvantage right now. And doing your 20-day assessment after September 1st is not going to help the situation with these students who have not gotten what they're supposed to get between March 16th and now is May 6th. Right? So cut the fallacy and just scrap that. Say we're going to end the school term, advise the parents to decide what they're going to do with their children in the interim. You understand? But it's a waste of time. It's challenging for them because you also heard one parent said, and it's not only she, but many of them, right? They have to use their phone. So they can't afford for the student to have the phone to do homework when they need the phone to go to work or they need the phone to do other things. It's only one phone in the home. You see all these challenges that we're having. You see, I'm on the program here, and you see the times when the feed falls. I can't even have a straight through presentation on YouTube Live, right? Much less these students and these teachers. It's challenging. And I was saying it's because I was on data, guy, but from what I'm hearing, it's not only data, it's also Wi-Fi are having the same problem too. You understand? So it means to say that our system, our ISPs, internet service providers, both Flow and Digicel, both of them need some competition, as Mr. Speed rightfully said. You understand? And you heard also in the house that I think it was Mr. Bunting who said that according to the law, these services are supposed to provide 95% of coverage for the island. They're supposed to provide 95% coverage for the island. And they are not providing 95% coverage for the island. That means they are in breach of their contracts. And if they are in breach of their contract, how is it that they're still functioning? What is all you are doing? We want to see actions, man. Use this time of COVID-19 to get it right. I keep on telling you, COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise. These things are happening so that you guys can set your house in order, so to speak. That's what you're supposed to be doing, setting your house in order. Okay? So right now, I want to see that happening. Okay? All right, guys. That's it. There's much more to say, but I've come to the end of the program. All right. I went over my time again, but I had to go over my time. This time only because the feed fell, guys. I would have finished before, but because the feed fell, that's why it took me so long to finish up. So I thank you for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the program today. If you did, again, remember, give it a thumbs up, guys. Remember to subscribe, and to like and share. Okay. On Omega News JA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Guys, I don't pretend to know everything, but I'm a student of knowledge just like you. Whatever I know, I share with you, okay? Now you go share with the other person that they too can learn and know, okay? All right, guys, so I've come to the end of the program. I will see you guys again tomorrow, God willing, at noon, okay? And so I will say, until then, as always, stay blessed and be a blessing. Love you. Bye.